The Cambridge Dictionary says that work-life balance is the amount of time you spend doing your job compared with the amount of time you spend with your family and doing things you enjoy.
Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Hey! It is an open, open.
Hello everyone. Thank you for joining us for this M&M today. I've been doing a presentation for my work, a short presentation about work-life balance and how it affects us in our employment performance and in our life. And I just wanted to share that with you today because it makes so much sense, and it might be helpful to someone out there. Of course, work-life balance, what is it and is it possible to achieve, is the question. Well, work-life balance will affect everything in our life, as the title infers, that both work and life are going to suffer if you are not balanced, or do just fine if you can achieve balance. The Cambridge Dictionary says that work-life balance is the amount of time you spend doing your job compared with the amount of time you spend with your family and doing things you enjoy. This is going to be things with community, with church, and with everything else besides your employment. And this is all just a package deal. Life and work is a package deal. And there was a quote made by Confucius back in the 1st century that other people have quoted as well. He was a Chinese teacher, philosopher, and political theorist. And he said, choose a job you love and you will not have to work another day in your life. Of course, the concept and the truth here is that if you do something that you're passionate about and you're able to get paid for it, then you're not going to be feeling like it's a burden or an obligation, and you will continue to be fulfilled in your own personal growth and life. So what is work and employment? Well, in the 21st century, we know what work is for sure, and pretty much everyone needs to work nowadays and earn a living, and because of our economy. So we should be mindful of the career path and the job that we choose. Employment implies that you are being paid by someone else, an employer, to do a specific task or job for them. And occupation is another word for it, and it implies that you are doing something that you were trained to do or have skills to do or being trained to do it for an employer. So the Confucius quote is very valuable. It's a valuable lesson for employees to learn who are feeling trapped in their job. They hate what they're doing, or they loved it once, now they hate it now. There could be many reasons for that. It could be because of the actual job. It could be because of the employer, could be because of employees, co-workers. So a lot of things can happen, but they begin to lose their passion, they begin to lose their ambition and their joy, and they don't know which way to turn. They become frustrated with life, depressed, and they're flailing, and they become out of control. And when that happens, they become unproductive, and they will become a burden to their employer. And not only this, they will become a burden at home as well and not be as productive in life. It is all a package deal. So those who feel this way about their employment should stop and take a reassessment and reevaluate their careers. What did you actually go to school for, or what were you trained to do? Do you not like that anymore? What should you go into, or should you just change your actual job? And then life. Life is a sequence of physical and mental experiences that make up the experiences of an individual. We know life happens. We know what life is. But the Confucius quote infers that you can achieve a work-life balance, which is great news. from him, and let's see what he says about it. He says, by finding the career that aligns itself with your passions of life, with your interests, with your skills, with your talents, with your training, and find that job that you love to do. Mesh your life and your employment together as one to fulfill you, and you will achieve that balance. Find a career that allows you to grow and develop more, and in professional way, in educational ways, and in your personal life as well. Merge the two, your interests at home and in the community with your professional endeavors that you're doing. And in this way, it will make a difference in your life. And one other thing that he goes a little bit further and says that that employment should offer ikigai. Now, ikigai is a Japanese concept that refers to a motivating force, something or someone that gives a person a sense of purpose or reason for living. More generally, it may refer to something that brings pleasure or fulfillment. Then it goes further, and to see the bigger picture and the impact. What will the impact of your work have on the world at large? What is it that you're doing in your vocation, in your employment, that will bring you personal joy and be productive and be positive to society and to your community? How will you make a difference in your home, job, society, community, and in the world? How can you be? How can you contribute? And in this way, you can achieve balance. That noise you're hearing is the fireplace going crazy. I think it's the wind outside that's blowing in. So anyway, going forward, our philosophies and outlooks that we have on life will be our guiding force to dictate how we view things in life and in our employment. And so these are our beliefs, our values, and our principles. And these are going to shape our perspectives, how we see things, how we view things, shape our priorities. What are we going to see as most important? What are we going to do first? How are we going to prioritize things? And it's going to shape how we approach things. And last but not least, how we view the world in general. Now, this has also been shaped from when we were little children by our environment, culture, religious beliefs, and upbringing. But environment can change, culture can change, and religious beliefs can change, and our views can change. So this is all ongoing, but this is what we personally, as an individual, bring to the table in our jobs, at our churches, in our homes. This is what makes us. This is the package called us, that we can bring to the table. So all of these things mesh together in one lump sum. Yes, balance can be achieved, but, and we see what balance is, but how can we achieve it through our beliefs and values and principles and all of these things that we've already discussed? Well, I've narrowed it down to two different choices that we can make. One is called the seesaw of life work balance approach. So, if you choose the seesaw effect, you are out of control and you have no purpose, no direction. You are just going with the flow, you're going with the tide, you're going to work day in and day out, but not achieving a thing, not being productive. You have a pessimistic mindset, and anxious all the time because you're wondering and what's going to happen next and expecting the worst because you are on that seesaw. You don't know what's going to hit on the other side, whether it's going to fly you to the moon off of that seesaw or if it's going to plummet you to the ground. You're living by the seat of your pants and relying on outward sources and people and things and circumstances to hit on that other side and not being in control of your own life. You become depressed and miserable and you make people around you miserable. You're just a mess and you're teeter-tottering around and you need a change. You are drowning and you need to find a way out of this situation because this is a struggle that you are in. Now, the denial that you're in and the struggle that you're in might just be because you don't want to work and you know you have to, and you are fighting against it. Or it just could be life and work are a struggle for you and you have lost control. But with all of this being said, the choice you've made to be on that seesaw and just depend on circumstances is going to make you unproductive in life and in work and in everything that you try to do and say. You're out of kilter, you're out of balance. You will become a liability to those around you, to your employer, and to in your home. You'll become a burden. You'll start bringing other people down, and then there's no productivity. So just going through the motions and saying, well, I got to go to work today. I just know I have to go. And I was brought up to go to work every day, and so I'll just go, is not really a good choice of life to make because in this situation, you are just existing. You are not living. You're being carried by the waves. You will become discouraged, fatigued, exhausted, and will have absolutely no joy. But there is a second choice that you can make, and that choice I call the scale life work balance approach. And in this approach, you are in control. You have the scales in your hand. You know which one needs more in it or less in it. You know how to balance. You know how to approach your priorities. You have purpose, you have direction, you have taken control, you have goals. You are making use of your calendar. It might be full, but you're making use of the calendar and you have a plan and you're going in the right direction. You have a mindset of optimism. And because of that, you can be relaxed and you know that you can navigate through any circumstance that life will throw at you because you have a plan and you're in control. Because of this, you are productive in life and in your job and at work and in other things that you are involved in, maybe in your church or in your community, and you are more productive than that one that is just sitting on the couch doing nothing and wondering what to do. You have embraced life and work as a partnership. You have put the two together. You know you got to do both. There's no choice. And so you've embraced it and you are running with it. And it makes you productive and balanced. You become an asset then to those around you and to your employers. You are making a contribution to your job, you're making a contribution to your life, your home, and to society, and you're moving forward. It may be baby steps, but you are progressing. You are living. You're enjoying each day. You're contented and invigorated and fulfilled. This sounds like the choice that is preferred to make when we know that we have to work, we have to live, we have babies to raise, we have things to do, but it can be done. In addition to this, and anything that would be said at my work, of course, I would always add to this to you today that your relationship with God is going to make all the difference in the world as well. Your prayer life, your Bible reading, even if it's a verse a day, it doesn't matter. There's no quota, no quotient on how much you should or shouldn't read, how much you should or shouldn't pray. Just do it, and it is going to make the difference in your work life balance as a whole. So, in conclusion, when we can reach this balance, this is when we are at our optimal productivity, when we can have that vocation become an expression of our deepest desires, our passions, and a pathway to our personal growth. Then This is an opportunity for self-actualization, and we will flourish. Smart employers know that those that achieve this work-life balance will be more dependable, more loyal, more productive, and they want you to be yourself. Oscar Wilde said, "Be yourself, everyone else is already taken." And someone else says, "Be the best self you can be." And that is what the employer is expecting. The employer wants you to make the right choices that align with your life philosophy and outlook, because that's what's going to bring you joy, happiness, and fulfillment, and therefore make you productive. The employer wants you to give your best, give your all. That's all they can expect, but they do expect it and they do want it and they do deserve it. They're paying your wage. And then they also want you to achieve that balance because it will equal productivity and fulfillment for them and for you in work and in your life. It is all going to work out. Mae West, an actress, singer, comedian, screenwriter, and playwright, that's a mouthful and a bucket full right there, whose career spanned over 7 decades, though she never had any children. She stated, "You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough." Now, I read a little bit about her and I do not agree with her philosophy of life, but I do agree with this statement and her work ethic, and living life and doing and trying to make the right choices and doing it right. We've all been given 24 hours in a day. That's it. We've all been given the same. And it is what we choose to do with those 24 hours and with that day that is going to make all the difference in the world and in our own personal world and in our work-life balance. So the answer is yes. It is possible to achieve a good balance in your life, to be productive and be fulfilled, even if you have to work. I know that's unfortunate, but here we go again. God bless you. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you enjoyed this little tidbit. And I hope that you will check us out on our YouTube channel, Facebook, and look us up on our website, theopendoorministry.org. And we've got an Instagram going now, and we do a blog and a podcast every week that you can find on your favorite podcast platform. All of these different things each week. And my husband, Marcus Smith, just puts out some great things each week on a Wednesday and a Sunday that will try to edify you and encourage you. And that is what we just want to do with this little channel, is to love on you and let you know that God loves you. Until we meet again, God bless you. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.